and I would like to talk about sex crimes against children. Recently in my town, a man was charged with 6 counts of repeatedly sexually abusing a young girl. He went to court and took an Alford plea. He was given 7 years, 2 months, but the judge was able to stay his sentence. He returned to my community after 45 days. He does not have to register as a sex offender. I've done extensive research and started a petition in our state to amend our laws with regards to sex crimes. I spoke with Mr. Vito this morning, and he agreed with me on some of these levels and giving me an opportunity. I would like to know, and my question is, will you sit down and talk with me? Will you give me an opportunity to present why changing these laws is so important to the children in our state? Thank you.
Vito, do you remember the specific laws that she talked to you about this morning?
I don't have them here, but she said she's going to get them to me, and some of the languages that she thinks is necessary, and then we can begin the discussion.
Okay.
What community do you live in?
I live in Hauser.
Okay. Yeah, I think that what you brought up is an incredibly important topic, and these things need to be dealt with swiftly, strongly, and make sure that people aren't put in risk. I would be glad to talk further about this and see what I can do to help as well.
Thank you.
So I had spoken to her earlier. I just want to point out that the tension for me is the discretion of the judges, the judiciary, and I'm a strong believer that the common sense of the individual that is doing the judging is important to recognize in terms of the discretion of the judge. But as we see the judicial system continue to fail us across the board, and not just in this area, in sentencing and the rest of it, but as we see the system continue to fail us, then I'm leaning more toward, we've got to figure out a way to, I don't know about mandatory sentencing, but somehow limit the discretion of the judiciary. And that seems to be the key. And so I just want to point that out in terms of the conversations here. The tensions of mandating and how that forces individuals into the prison system, and the cost of the prison system, and like we were just talking about beds and the whole 9 yards. This is a much bigger issue financially for the community than one initially thinks. So yeah, we have to address this. We've got to figure out a way to get around the discretion and get these the judges and the prosecuting attorneys to recognize that these are serious enough where execution is probably the best answer.
Thank you.
Amen.
And I applaud you for your willingness to come forward and work with this. I guess Hauser is in my Senate district. I would recommend a meeting with Vito and I and Representative Okuniewicz all together, and maybe all of us, so you don't have to keep doing it over and over again, but maybe one meeting would work well.
Thank you.
Good morning, Art Macomber from Coeur d'Alene.